Good morning to all. Today our topic is nanotechnology and applications. So, first we have to see what basics of nanotechnology. For that we have to see what is the introduction to nanotechnology. Whenever we have to see with the introduction to nanotechnology, we have to first study what is nanotechnology. So, what is nanotechnology? Nanotechnology is based on the materials present with nanoscale. What is nanoscale? That is 10 to the power minus 9 meter. So over the meter scale, whenever a material measures to nanoscale, that is 10 to the power minus 9 meter scale, then it is a nanoparticle or nanostructure which is under the nanoscience and nanotechnology. So first we will see what is the definition for nanotechnology. Nanotechnology is the understanding and control of matter at dimensions of roughly 1 to 100 nanometers where unique phenomena enable novel applications. So in the definition it has been given as nanotechnology is the understanding. It is given as understanding because this nanotechnology, which holds the study of nanomaterials which are of the dimension of 1 to 100 nanometer scale, or can't be viewed with the naked eye, and these materials can't be sensed when we touch over this. So that only it is given as nanotechnology is the understanding. So whenever we study and analyze about these nanomaterials, we can control that in this nanoscale, and so only is the understanding and control of matter at dimensions of roughly 1 to 100 nanometers. When we understand these nanomaterials and when we can be able to control those materials in the nanoscale dimension, we can enable novel applications with its unique phenomena. This is given over here in the definition. So, encompassing nanoscale science, engineering and technology, nanotechnology involves imaging, measuring, modeling and manipulating matter at the nanoscale range. So, based on these definitions, we have so many nanotech particles. This is the nano. The first figure is the nanofiber, which is of 2 micrometer. A bulk is of 2 micrometer. Nanoflower, and this is nanomembrane, and this is the nanotubules. Then next we have to see, before studying into nanotechnology, we have to see why this nanotechnology has to be studied. So to study this nanotechnology, we are having 6 reasons behind. Those 6 reasons are first reason is certain structures exist only in the nanoscale. There is no bulk counterparts for this structure. Example, carbon nanotube, fullerene, carbon anions. The second reason is certain properties arise only in the nanoscale. Those properties won't be gained when bulkier structure of this will be taken. That is, if the size of the relevant unit is made larger, the property under consideration would not be observed. Example, super hydrophobicity, super catalytic activity, super paramagnetism, gain magnetoresistance, etc. The third reason is certain combination of properties can only be obtained with nanomaterials. Example, abalone shell, which has a fracture toughness reaching more than 1000 times that of calcium carbonate, the chief ingredient in the shell, while still retaining the hardness of nacre. So calcium carbonate, which we can see with the teeth also. Then drastic change in properties may be observed on approaching the nanoscale. Drastic change in property. So with nanoscale only certain properties with a higher difference will be achieved. Example, fracture strength of nickel has shown to increase 100 MPa to 900 MPa once the nanometer sized grains are obtained. And the fifth reason, the performance of some systems depend on a functional entity in the nanoscale. Example, a device sensing a signal from a single DNA strand has to be in the nanoscale so as to extract the local signal from one strand. Nanoscale entities such as CNTs can be utilized for measuring the electrical signal in response to a stimulus. This means DNAs are of in nanoscale only. They can be analyzed, synthesized, or marked with a nanoscale entity only. This is given over here. Then the sixth reason is in multi-length scale structures with special properties, the fundamental unit has to be nanoscale for the other length scales to be effective. Example, non-bulking nanohairs are at the heart of the hierarchical structure on a lotus leaf, which gives it hydrophobicity. So with the bulkier nanohairs only we are having the hydrophobicity property. If single strand has been taken means the hydrophobicity cannot be analyzed. These are the reasons why we go for nanotechnology. Then we have to see how the nanotechnology revolutionized throughout the world. So before that, history of nanotechnology has to be seen. So history of nanotechnology. So roughly 2000 years ago, sulfide nanocrystals are used by Greeks and Romans to dye hair. See, before 2000 years ago. Before 1000 years ago, in the Middle Age, gold nanoparticles of different sizes are used to produce different colors in stained glass windows. These are all even existing now, and this gives the reason how the nanotechnology is evolved. In 1959, there is a plenty of room at the bottom. A definition given by R. Feynman to show which initiates the nanotechnology. In 1974, Tanguchi uses the term nanotechnology for the first time. In 1981, IBM developed scanning tunneling microscope. In 1985, Buckyball, otherwise called as C60, has been developed using this nanotechnology by scientists at Rice University and University of Sussex. In 1986, Engines of Creation, a first book on nanotechnology, is published by K. Eric Drexler, and atomic force microscope was invented by Winning, Quate and Gerby. In 1989, IBM logo was made with individual atoms. In 1991, carbon nanotube is discovered by S. Iijima. In 1999, Nanomedicine, the first nanomedicine book by R. Freitas, has been published. In 2000, National Nanotechnology Initiative launched. Thereafter, so many nanotechnology research labs have been developed in our country, and even now Nano Mission is there to promote the nanotechnology research in our country. Then the revolutions with nanotechnology. So with the nanoparticles and nanomaterials, and with the study of these materials, we are having the ability to synthesize nanoscale building blocks with a control on size and composition, which gives further assembling of these materials into larger structures with designed properties, which gives a revolution of material manufacturing. So using this nanomaterials, we can make small materials and bulkier materials, nanomaterials and larger materials. So many things we can achieve using this. So this gives a revolution over the manufacturing technology, manufacturing engineering, with its wide properties. Those properties includes the advantages as given over here. It can be used as metal, ceramic or polymer, etc., with exact shapes without machining. And these materials are lighter, stronger and programmable. And these materials have lower failure rate and reduced life cycle cost. These are bio-inspired materials. These are multifunctional and adaptive materials, and these have self-healing properties also. The challenges with these materials are the synthesis of this material needs large scale processing. It is made useful with viable composites. It is used in multi-scale models with predictive capability. So prediction is very much difficult, and it needs analytical instrumentation which are very costlier. So these are the revolutions and revolution and challenge behind nanotechnology. So in the nanotechnology, we are having different dimensions from 0.1 to 1000 nanometer. that is a 1 crore nanometer. So 0.1 nanometer is water, 1 nanometer is glucose, 10 nanometer is antibodies, 100 nanometer dimension is with viruses, 1000 nanometer is with bacteria, 10,000 nanometer is with cancer cell, and 100,000 is also with cancer cell, and 1 crore is a period. This is the dimension what we have studied with the nanometers. So these nanometers, whenever can be expanded further with the nanometer scale, as this 1 crore is a period, 10 crore and 100 crores nanometers will be a tennis ball. This is the difference between the nanoscale. So based on this, we can define nano devices also. Those should be nanopores, dendrimers, nanotubes, quantum dots, and nanoshells. With this nano dimension itself, we can produce this. So this is the view to understand what is nanomaterial, how a tennis ball will be there, what is the difference between tennis ball and a water droplet of 0.1 nanometer, right? So we have a variance over this nanometer scale with examples over this slide. So see, for millimeter range, 5 millimeter range is with an ant. So 1 centimeter is 10 millimeter. For 10 millimeter, we are having ant or some insects like that. Then 10 to 100 micrometer is micro electromechanical devices, that is MEMS. So for 50 micrometer we are having red blood cells, and over millimeter, after 1 millimeter, 1 centimeter, which is of 10 millimeter, and then we are coming to 1 millimeter. For millimeter we are having dust mite, and 0.1 millimeter, which is 100 micrometer, we are having RBCs and human hair, and for 10 micrometer RBCs, and for 1 micrometer we are having same the blood cells, and going down into that 0.1 micrometer, which holds some quantum corals, iron atoms, carbon nanotubes, DNAs, like that. So this is a pictorial view for micro size to nano size differentiation. Then nanometer examples, which is the scale of things from nanometer and more. So for this, first ant, dust mite, fly ash, like that, all the examples we have seen in the previous slide itself. And from this slide we have seen how the nanomaterials has been emerged. Those nanomaterials will be of nanotubes, carbon buckyballs, carbon rods, like that. So these are the examples of nanometer. These are all natural nanoscale things, and these are all man-made things. So from the reality, if we see what are all the nanomaterials, where we are seeing the nanomaterial, like that, if you are thinking over means, you can take our fingernails grow at the rate of 1 nanometer per second, and the head of a pin is about 1 million nanometer across. A human hair is about 80,000 nanometer in diameter. A DNA molecule is about 1 to 2 nanometer wide. The transistor of a latest generation Pentium core Duo processor is 45 nanometer. These are the examples from reality where we can see the nanomaterials. So see, this is a lotus leaf, it's micro and nano visions. This is a butterfly, it's a micro vision, nano vision is given over here. So nanotechnology finds applications in most of the fields. So from the manufacturing to material science, quantum physics, molecular biology, and super molecular chemistry, it finds many applications. So nanomaterials are used for functional devices and ICT. Nanomaterials will be used for bulk coating and soft materials. Nanotechnology is used for chemistry and environment. Nanotechnology is used in nanobiotechnology, which finds applications in transport, aerospace, cosmetics, textiles, material supply, chemical, energy, environment, food and beverage, pharmaceuticals, miniaturization, electronics, information like that. So, nanotechnology is an important technology to study with. So, we have to see this nanotechnology in our other videos.